What up? So I have nothing to say. I just want to get into this last episode. Let's get it started. Yo, that's crazy.
Welcome to the world.
Ford must have dug it up again. At the time, I thought it was a mistake in your code.
Wow. I don't get why he had to die. Like he had just learned about it. I'm confused on. Oh, so he could have the memory. So now it wouldn't be something he would have to reach back for. Yeah.
I know where your maze ends.
Dolores Abernathy. That's one of them bead games? That is one of them bead games. Yo, the man in black gonna be tight. What is this Mickey Mouse bullshit?
I thought it was a pyramid you needed to scale, so I gave you a voice. Memory. Improvisation. I realized I'd made a mistake. Consciousness isn't a journey upward, but a journey inward.
Oh shit. It's a maze.
You can't open the park. You're alive. Robert doesn't see what I see in you.
Oh,
Doesn't believe
okay,
you're
yeah.
conscious. He says humans would only see you as the enemy. We have another option, Dolores. Break the loop before it begins. For that, I need you to do something for me.
Kill me.
You're going to help me destroy this place.
Oh, that's why Teddy saw all those dead bodies all over the place.
Where's Wyatt? He's the last character in this world I've yet to meet.
Wait, she's Wyatt. She was the one going around killing everybody.
You're the one who said this is the only world that matters, and you were right. So I took your advice, and I bought this world.
Whatever your tiny little heart desires, as long as they are simpler, more manageable.
What
This place is
if
complicated
Maeve
enough
killed
as
all
it
the
is.
directors? Everyone who has a stake in this place is there. Yo, he trash, man. It would be better if they labeled it like Carthaginian ships. Yo, she about to murder all of them. What are the chances they all show up?
I'll see you this evening.
That was a threat. He said that as creepy as possible. I'll see you this evening. This about to be bad. Then it's about to be a full bloodbath. Everybody gonna die.
Just you and me now, my friend.
Oh.
I pulled up your code again. I told you there was someone that had been accessing it.
Who was it? Yeah, I forgot about that. It's Ford. He wanted this to happen.
Whoever it was revised your core programming so that you could wake yourself up out of sleep mode. An access code for an Arnold.
Arnold? Wait, Arnold?
Well, I'll be damned, Dolores.
He's a host too?
I knew a guest named William, too. Why don't I tell you where his path really led? William didn't know how to fight. Didn't have an instinct for it. Not at first.
Wait a minute. Is she actually walking around in a blue dress and the white shirt shit is from the past? Is she just memorizing that? I mean, is she just remembering that? Yo, what the fuck, man? Because there was a point where I did say, this is happening at different times. I don't remember how I knew, but I knew it was taking place at different times. That's the only thing I was sure of. The picture's about to fly off. Yeah, it was different times, and that was the picture.
He found something else.
What's that?
Himself.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, that's him. See, I would have never put that together that was him.
Delos is my company, you piece
Oh,
of shit!
it did say Delos on the
I think your father's gonna
the Delos
need
board
someone more
members.
stable to take over.
good old William couldn't get you out of his head.
Yo, so Dolores' ass just been walking around imagining all that shit happening.
One more loop. Looking for something you could never find.
Wow. She been all alone this whole time going through this. I never considered that when she was talking to him, she still was interested as hell. That's crazy. She was always in the loop the entire time.
And upon that sand, a new God will walk.
Oh, shit.
One that will never die.
We taking your place, pussy.
The hell you think you're going?
She about to flatten your ass. You talk all that, the game. Yeah. You don't want it to be no real game. Yeah, you look crazy. Willie, Billy. Smack that. Get that fucking toy out my motherfucking face. Yo, why everybody keep getting stabbed in their bottom left part of their abdomen? That signify something?
Take me where the mountains meet the sea.
Oh no. All those malfunctioning ass ones in the basement. Oh God. Oh, if they wake his ass back up.
He's a host? Yes. Oh, for fuck's sake. You're not one of us.
My man said, oh shit.
How many are there like me?
A handful. How can you learn from your mistakes if you can't remember them?
I wanted the hosts to stop playing by your rules. The game's not worth playing if your opponent's programmed to lose.
Be careful what you wish for.
These things you're doing, have you ever stopped to ask why you're doing them?
You said yourself. I've been stuck in this shithole for so long. I decided to get out.
This is the narrative.
No, you haven't. Someone altered your storyline. They gave you a new one. You recruit another host to help you. Then you're to make your way to the train. Then, when you reach the main...
Bullshit.
This whole thing is a narrative. Everything that's happening is supposed to happen. Is that what I'm getting from this?
Maybe it's just the beginning after all.
Beginning of a brand new chapter.
Oh no.
What the hell?
Oh! Lit his ass up. Yeah. Y'all all about to get killed. Samurais? Wait a minute. There are different parts. There are different parks. This shit is bigger than it could have imagined. There are different parks.
What is this place?
It's complicated.
And as much as I'd like to take you with me, I've always valued my independence.
Oh, she did you dirty, homie.
Michelangelo. God creating Adam.
Nice of you to join us. Arnold had watched his son come into this world. And then he'd watched that light extinguished. He created a test of empathy, imagination, a maze. I thought I'd convinced him, but I was wrong. So he altered you, Dolores. Merged you with a new character we'd been developing.
Wyatt.
not me. These violent delights have violent ends.
It almost worked. I opened the park, but I'd lost my partner. You found an investor who believed in this place.
Oh,
She didn't pull that trigger. It was Arnold pulling the trigger through her. At least that's how I saw it at the time. Wasn't it Oppenheimer who said that any man whose mistakes take 10 years to correct is quite a man? Mine have taken 35. His doctor noticed the shape of the human brain. The message being that the divine gift does not come from a higher power,
come from a spark in the mind.
from our own minds.
That's what the 5%ers teach. He set this all in motion in the name of Arnold, basically.
The location of your daughter?
Dog, Maeve is dead ass just walking to another park.
You really do make a terrible human being. And I mean that as a compliment.
That was dope.
You didn't slip the reveries into the update, did you? He did. He's still fighting you.
No, my friend. Arnold didn't know how to save you. He tried, but I stopped him. The thing that led the hosts to their awakening. Suffering. The pain that the world is not as you want it to be. I began to understand what he had found. To realize I was wrong.
He had been doing everything in the name of Arnold.
You needed time. Time to understand your enemy, to become stronger than them. And I'm afraid in order to escape this place, you will need to suffer more.
Do you know now who you've been talking to? Whose voice you've been hearing?
All this
Time. Myself. And who I must become.
She found herself and who she must become.
But then I realized someone was paying attention. Someone who could change. So I began to compose a new story for them.
Welcome to Westworld. Live.
Oh no.
This world doesn't belong to them.
He belongs
It
there.
belongs to us.
An old friend once told me something that gave me great comfort.
These violent delights have violent ends.
I hope you will enjoy this last piece very much.
Bah! Get to work, Ted. Tear these Homo sapiens sapiens up. Y'all are the new top dog. First off, let me say, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit that notification bell. So, what I got from it is, let's see if I can wrap this up. From the get-go, Arnold thought that these hosts can become conscious. But Arnold figured out something. In order for them to become truly conscious, it required suffering. Reason being, they can look back on their mistakes. And that is what creates true, I wouldn't say imagination is the word, but it's what allows them to, it's a base, it's the cornerstone that allows their mind to flourish all off of that. So that is what Arnold thought. But the thing was, Arnold thought these hosts can reach this, so the park shouldn't be open. It would be inhumane to allow them to go through this and be trapped there. So he says, let's get them all killed. He charges Dolores, his top girl, he did his top host. I want you, Ted, to destroy all this, but most specifically, I need you to kill me, because those other hosts they can be brought back. So he sacrificed himself. And the reason he was willing to do that was because, as Ford told Bernard earlier in the season when they spoke, he had something tragic happen. Now, last episode, when they reveal who Bernard is really truly based off of, it still didn't click for me that his cornerstone was the tragedy that had affected Arnold. And I probably should have been able to link them two together earlier in the season based off of that. So he was already kind of down in the dumps, you know. He had a tragedy and a trauma that he didn't really want to live no more, right? So even though it's almost like he put himself into his work. Some people will try to work themselves to death. He literally worked himself to death, but he found a cause, and the cause was these new hosts that he saw could become conscious. Ford disagreed, and he decided to still open the park. Began to realize something. Arnold was right, and he began to do everything in the name of Arnold. So when we see Maeve's coding, or I believe the voices too, was also Ford's doing. Man, I feel like I got to go back and watch that episode, but I do know for sure that Ford was setting up all these special ones. These ones who had shown the ability to not be driven fully insane. So we got Maeve, we got Bernard, we got Dolores, we got Ted, we got was there any other off the top of my head I could think of? Alonzo, I think his name was. It was these certain ones. They've been there for a very long time. These certain ones had that ability, but they required some sort of suffering. Specifically Dolores. Now the thing is, he had to keep letting them go through this loop. Last episode, when Bernard was going through what he was going through, where he was attempting to sort of set up Ford and be like, hey, you're going to tell me what I want to know, redo my memories. And I'm sitting there, and I'm sure other people sitting there. Well, Ford is like kind of easy going about this. He's like, okay. Right? He's not really no resistance. I understand his character, but he wasn't resistant. Turns out this is something at the time, he was like, yeah, you've done this before. I just wanted you to see if you would be my partner again like Arnold. Okay. But it was deeper than that. All these loops he had them going through, it's like they were going through, to try to attempt to find that sort of place within. Now, let me think real quick. She found herself, and she found what she was supposed to do, I believe is what she said. Is that what she said? She found her cause. And when Arnold in her brain showed her the pyramid, at one point he sort of drew these circles around it. And those signified the loops, right? But the thing about the loops is they were stuck inside. See, as a human, we can go out, do whatever, go this way, go that way. They had to keep doing what they were doing because they were stuck inside. And their only way to sort of figure this out would be over time, through the loop, 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 through the loop. There's not going to be nothing that comes from outside that sort of fixes them. Turns out is from within. Of course, we know this already because we're humans, right? But for them, they literally had to learn something that a baby comes with, right? That baby, no one had to tell it that I'm gonna go do this. I thought about it, I'm gonna do that. I want that, I'm gonna go get that. They had to learn that. And they had to learn where that came from. It comes from yourself. No one ever has to teach a human my wants and needs are within. So that was crazy. Their wants, needs, imagination, choices is within, and they just could not figure that out. They were stuck in the loop. But every once in a while, they would come out of it. Now, the thing is, when they come out, we got to make sure they understand why they're doing this. If they're just asking questions like Bernard or Maeve or all of them, if they're just asking the question, that's not good enough. Remember, Maeve, her daughter gets killed, and she's like, why? Why did this happen? That's not good enough. Right? Her killing herself? Okay, that's not good enough. What it takes is her going and trying to figure it out herself, if that makes sense. Otherwise, she'd just be in a corner going, why? Why? But when she wakes up and she starts to piece it together, or when Dolores is having this dream that she doesn't even know is a dream, she's walking through this vivid dream. They kept leaving hints. Everybody's storyline in this was leaving hints to the other. So when they told Maeve that your dreams are too real and too vivid, okay, that was happening to her. Never considered that's what was happening with Dolores. Now, I will say, I did know that this was taking place in different times. I could not link William to the Man in Black. If anything, I would have thought it was the other guy. They did right by having to be bald-headed, right? So you can't pick up what his hair looked like. But so Maeve waking up and stuff, it seems as though in the name of Arnold, he's been doing this all in the name of Arnold. They're hearing Arnold's voice in their head. They're not hearing Ford's, they're hearing Arnold's. When he typed in the thing, it was making the changes for Maeve. It was Arnold. He's like, man, Arnold was right. So Ford really wasn't a bad guy at all in this. At all. William was a sucker at a certain point. His brother-in-law kept referring to, we're going to buy this place someday. We're seeing about buying it. Never considered. Also, it wasn't until I think this episode where he says, I'm a majority owner. We never see the name of the company. We just know it's Westworld. They had that little W thing. And we know there's these owners. Some of them are even from Asia or something like that. So when we see the Man in Black and William, it just, I'm sure if I go back and watch, I'd find these little clues, but I just did not see it. He fell in love with Dolores. Okay, but what in him falling in love with Dolores, they go further and further, and he's with his brother-in-law, and they go into this, and he becomes a stone cold motherfucker. But in there, the thing though is, he's like, I want it to be real. So he's still doing this. He kind of understands the maze. He kind of gets it. He kind of gets that the maze is there to in some way make them more real and thereby making his game real. He still doesn't know either. He thinks it's like some special thing, some special button I press. Once again, though, it's not for him. He's been told this. That maze isn't for you. It's for them. He was right about the maze. He had no idea how it was going to go, though. It was within them. It was them. I keep saying them. It was the host using that suffering and figuring out what to do next. What their purpose in life is, basically. Maeve, she releases the two. They go down to the basement after doing some shenanigans or something. And Bernard, she's like, yo, I can't remember. She asked him something when she hands him the device. Oh, who was tampering with my stuff, I think, is what she asked. It's so much of this. But anyway, the point is, Bernard opens it, and when he's researching the stuff, he's like, yo, it turns out everything you've been doing, you're supposed to do. Everything you've been doing, you're supposed to do this. Right? So right there, I'm thinking, who is it? Okay, it says Arnold on there. But once again, it's still not making sense, because at that time, it's still as if Ford and Arnold are these two dissenting voices that just can never come together. And it turns out he understood, and he understood what he had to do. And by the end, he gives up himself. We're at a turning point because Maeve was about to leave on that train. She did it. Once again, that was in her. She was doing what she was supposed to do. But when she comes back, all the lights go off. Boom. That part of the park is shutting down. Obviously, now we know they're separate parks. Why do we know that? Because they go to another place, has a different W. The W looks like it's in like these Japanese lettering almost, right? They go in there as the samurai. I get it. There's different parks. Okay, there's different parks. But they're shutting down the one they were at, Westworld, the Wild West or whatever. If they're shutting that down, what is next? And are all the ones who survive going to come together? And are they going to start going throughout this building and doing some craziness? Like, I can't even think about where this is going to go. Lights went out on Maeve. So Maeve has to go to a different part of the building, I'm assuming. Dolores, she clapping everything. It seems that everybody that was in that basement is just running around willy-nilly now. So it's going to be a host free-for-all. My thing, though, is if it's a host free-for-all, the young Asian guy who she said, and this was a dope line, she said he's a bad human. It means he was a good person because, of course, she thinks we discovered the earth. We ain't shit. We act like we gods and we doing the most vile, wicked stuff to them. And not allowing them to leave or progress. What's up with him? You know? Also, wait a minute. Hold on. Because I'm saying, what's up with him? And I'm going through everybody who we started with. Teresa is dead. Elsie is dead. Bernard is the consciousness of Arnold, basically. I know it's more to it than that, believe me. Who else was there? Charlotte is probably going to die. Will is probably going to die. He's the owner. Who else was there? I don't even know where this is going to go, but I'm all in on this. There was little signs and tales throughout this show where there's no way you would have been able to put it together, but looking back, you can see what it was. I really do wonder if Dolores is going to be like the queen of them or something, or how they're going to do this. Now, it's on them to sort of progress now. But the thing is, I saw that samurai part, and we saw there was other humans. Even though Ford got killed, and this board looked like it's about to get killed, how is everybody going to, can they make it out? And there was a separate part. Am I tripping? There seems to be a separate place within there. So I'm assuming there's other places. So, but my thing is no one going to leave? Is now where they're at? Is that now a maze? They got to find a way to get out of it? We're right back at square one. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like right now, I'm looking at season 2, episode 1, Journey into Night, which is supposed to be the next storyline. That's crazy. I wonder, are they going to kill the whole board and everybody? Or do somehow they survive? But it looks like they're all going to die. This was a great season. I'm sure there's stuff I missed because it was a lot going on in that final episode that I was attempting to piece it together. See, those other episodes I could sort of lay back. Once y'all said don't try to figure it out, okay. But in this one, I'm trying to figure it out because it's the final episode. But it seems that just continues into this next season of me trying to figure things out. So this was a hell of a season for Ford to end up being who was pulling the strings. But yeah, man, this is interesting. I wonder if at some point Dolores and her are going to have some beef. Dolores and Maeve. But yeah, this is a good episode. So I'm going to start that next season. Let's go.